a quick note before we dive in that this is a Tashmas episode of the Heart-Centr Business Podcast. For those of you who aren't aware, every year from the 1st to the 12th of December, we have the 12 days of Tashmas. So from today, for the next 12 days, there's going to be a daily episode of the Heart-Centr Business Podcast. And every day is going to be a Tashmas episode. Tashmas episodes of the Heart-Centr Business Podcast include a quick tip or strategy that you can implement into your business, something nice and practical and tangible. But then every day you also have a gift from me because it's Tashmas, but you get the presents. So some days the gifts are free things that I'm giving away to anyone who wants them. Some days the gifts are an opportunity to win something. So it might be a competition or something to enter in order to win a prize. And some days it's a discounted offer or something that's only available during Tashmas. So we have 12 days of Tashmas lined up for you over the next 12 days, and I am super excited to share them with you. So today is day one of Tashmas. This is also episode number 431 of the Heart-Centr Business Podcast, which means you can find all the relevant links and the show notes for today's episode over at tashcorbin.com/431. And you're going to want to go and visit that page of the website because today's podcast episode also includes a link to your first present as part of the Tashmas celebrations. Today's episode, I'm going to share with you the most powerful part of my end of day routine. I'm going to walk you through my end of day routine when I have a day working on my business and which part of that is actually the most powerful. So let's dive in. Hello, I'm Tash Corbin, a business strategist and mentor based on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. The mission of this podcast is to help heart-centered entrepreneurs to make more money and in doing so, change the world for the better. This podcast was recorded on the lands of the Gubbi Gubbi and Jinnaburra people. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Some of you will have already heard what my end of day routine involves, but for those of you who haven't, I want to walk you through what I do at the end of each working day in my business, because this end of day routine, I think, is responsible for so much of my productivity and my effectiveness in my business, and just that clarity of exactly what I'm working on the next day, and also my ability to shut off my business and actually shut down at the end of the night so I can be really present with my life outside of my business, present with my family, present with Davey, present with my puppies, and actually just have a life outside of my business as well. I don't know about you, but I didn't start my business to work long hours and constantly be thinking about my business. Yes, I am naturally drawn to thinking about my business a lot. I often say to students inside the Takeoff program or inside my VIP program that I think about them in the shower, because I do often have insights about things that they could be doing or strategy ideas in the shower. But I also know that part of the reason why I love my life and I don't feel like my business overtakes my life is because I have these really good boundaries, and my end of day routine is definitely a big part of that. So I use my own planning system, the Heart-Centred Business Planning System. And as part of that planning system, there is a day planner. So I use the day planner, the print version of it. I designed it in a way that it really works for me. And that process in the end of day routine is actually all built into the planning system. So my end of day routine, regardless of whether I'm finishing my workday at 11 o'clock in the morning or I'm finishing up at 7 o'clock at night, most days I finish before 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. I don't really like to work late most days, but some days I just do 90 minutes of work in the morning and then I'm done for the day. So once I'm done for the day, so it's my knock-off time from my business, and I'm very clear most days on I'm going to be finished at a certain time, then my end of day routine starts with, first of all, I do a little bit of journaling. So in my day planner, there is a box for today's thoughts. And so I'll just do 1 to 2 sentences of how did today go? every single day. So I journal a little bit of how the day went and how I'm feeling. I track my income. So I do money tracking every day, and I do that based on just what have I made since I did my money tracking yesterday. So some days I do my money tracking at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Some days I do it at 11 o'clock in the morning. Some days I do it at 5 p.m. at night, but it's always as I finish up for the day. So I do my income tracking for the day, and that's also in my day planner. I can record that. Then I turn my planner to the next day. So what's going on tomorrow? And I write down what are my critical tasks for tomorrow. So if I know that tomorrow I want to record some podcast episodes, I'll write that in. Critical task for tomorrow, record at least 3 podcast episodes. If I know I'm writing the about page updates for my website, that goes in there. Now, in the planning system, I have a way of knowing exactly what that is for tomorrow, but I won't go into all of that depth. But I'm basically just writing down, like, what are my top 3 to 4 tasks that I need to do tomorrow? And I write them down as I'm closing off the day before. Now, this is part of the reason why I'm able to shut my brain down a little bit more at the end of each day, because I don't have to carry those things in my head. I know that tomorrow is taken care of. So it's a real reassurance for me that, like, I don't have to worry about what's on tomorrow because tomorrow is taken care of. It's all in the planner. It's all there. So I can just shut down now. So I put my tasks for tomorrow into my day planner. Then I shut down my laptop. So I actually close down all the tabs. I close everything off in my laptop every day, every single day. So many people are like, how can I possibly do that? I have 1,000 tabs open. How do you know what's in those 1,000 open tabs? Like, is that actually a reflection of what's going on in your brain? And is that actually healthy for you? Is it healthy for you to keep 16 tabs open in your brain as you're supposedly shutting down for the night? I think not, particularly for my neurodivergent folks. I know that that's definitely something I have been guilty of doing in the past, and I convinced myself that I needed to do that because my brain works differently. But actually, when I tried it the other way, it's way better and it's way easier for my brain to actually switch off. So I close everything down on my computer. Let's say I have a tab open because there's something I need to do. I've got a tab open on booking flights because tomorrow I need to make sure I book some flights for a trip that I'm taking. Well, I close that tab and I write in my task list for tomorrow, book such and such flights. So it's in my task for tomorrow. So is it going to take me 1,000 hours to open up a tab and go and search flights? No, it's not. But having that tab open overnight means the tab stays open in my brain, right? It's a reflection. I think how many tabs you've got open at any point on your computer is a reflection of how much you're trying to hold in your brain. And the more you try and hold in your brain, the more decision fatigue you'll experience and the more that brain is overloaded. So I'm a big proponent for shutting down every night. You don't have to take that advice, but that's my advice. So I shut down my laptop. Laptops need to sleep really well. Computers need rest. Most problems that occur on computers are because they haven't been shut down properly recently. Shut it down, yeah? That's just my advice. That everything is the opinion of Tash Corbin and doesn't constitute financial or technological advice, but, check the PDS or whatever it is. I honestly think most people's excuses for not closing down and shutting down their laptops actually tells me exactly why they need to change their systems and processes, and they actually need to take that advice. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I haven't actually got to the most powerful part of my end of day routine, because once I've done all of that, I've journaled. How did today go? I've tracked my income. I've written down what my key tasks are for tomorrow, and then I've shut my laptop down. I close the lid of my laptop and I put my planner on the lid. So I physically close my computer, right? I use a MacBook Air, a laptop on a little stand. I close the lid of my laptop, I close my planner, and I stick it on the lid. Now, why is that so powerful? And why do I think that is the most powerful part of my end of day routine? Well, putting my planner on the lid of my laptop means that before I can open my laptop the next time I go to do work, I actually have to physically lift up my planner. And in that planner, if I open it to today's date, it will tell me exactly what my priorities are for today. So what happens most days when I start my workday is I start my workday by picking up my planner, opening it to today's date, and looking at what are my priorities first. I don't open my emails. I don't open social media. I don't even open messages from my team on Slack until I've opened my planner. And by opening my planner first, I am prioritizing what's important for me. So on most of my days, when I start my day, when I start my work day, I open my planner and I see what's important and what my priority tasks are for today. And let's say it is, I need to update the about page on my website. Then I go and do that first. Before I open anything else, I have no open tabs on my computer. I don't have anything like barking at me from my computer that says you need to prioritize what other people want first. No, the first things I do each day in my business, most days, are actually the things that are a priority for me. And I love using a timer and like getting through those first tasks of the day in a couple of little work sprints. That's definitely a fun way of doing it, and it works really well for my brain. But I think there's a huge energetic piece behind this as well. What energy am I sending out to the world, and what boundaries am I establishing with the world and with my business when I start my day every single day focused on what's important to me? How many of us start our day by opening our laptop and opening emails and looking at what do other people want from me today? We start our day by picking up our phone and looking at social media and looking at messages and seeing what do other people want from me today. We start our day by opening up our team message board or our Asana, and it's like a giant to-do list and 15 people have chucked tasks in there for you if you've got all your clients in there or whatever it might be. And you start your day working to someone else's priorities instead of your own. I don't think it's just the physical difference that it makes in terms of how you spend your time and spending your time responding to other people before you ever put yourself first. I think there's a lot in that from a physical perspective. Like, how is that reflected in other areas of your life? Everyone else's needs come before yours, absolutely. But I also think it's energetic. I also think there's something in the mindset of it. I fit my own mask first. I work on what's a priority for me first, not what's a priority for other people, not what's a priority for my team, not what's a priority for my clients, not what's a priority for leads, not what's a priority for my audience, not what's a priority for that mailing list that I signed up for 3 years ago and I can't actually remember what they want from me or who it was, whatever it might be. The most powerful part of my end of day routine is when I close the lid of my laptop and I put my planner on top. Because it means that every day in my business, before I can start working on my laptop, I have to pick up my day planner and I have to physically make the choice to ignore my own needs if that's what I choose to do. And I would say I don't do it perfectly, right? And nothing is ever 100% perfect for me. Maybe one day out of 10, like 10% of the time, I open my laptop 5 minutes before I've got a client call, so I start my day with client call. Or I open my laptop and just sit down to start a group program call or having to do an interview or something like that. So I am starting my day, responding to someone else. But even in doing that, I generally, if I'm sitting down at my laptop right before a call, it's not like 2 seconds before a call. I give myself a good 5 to 10 minute window. And that still allows me to open my planner and look at today, what is a priority for me today? And sometimes in that 5 to 10 minutes before a call, I can get one of those things done. And so it's like a fun game for myself. But even if I can't, I know that as soon as I finish that client call, I've got exact clarity on what I need to do today. So that is what I wanted to share with you, was the most powerful part of my end of day routine. It's closing the lid of my laptop and sticking my day planner on top. I don't think anyone would have expected me to say that, But I think it is absolutely the most powerful part of that process. So I wanted to share that one with you. Now, for day one of Tashmas, I have a fabulous little present for you. And that present is that if you have heard me talking about this and you would like to purchase the Heart-Centr business planning system, I actually have 10 print copies of the full planning system available for purchase just for people through Tashmas. Now, normally every year we just print the Heart-Centr business planning system to the exact number of people who purchase, and the deadline for purchase is the first week of November. Now, it is the 1st of December when this podcast episode is going out, and for the first 10 people only, I've actually ordered the print planning system for an extra 10 people, because in December each year, and even in early January, I tend to have a bunch of people who didn't know about the planning system or knew about it but wasn't 100% sure. And then they start to see everyone else unboxing their planning systems and starting to talk about how excited they are, and they're getting all excited and seeing all of the process and how it works and seeing that it's a full year-long program. So the Heart-Centr business planning system is actually a full year program. And they realize, oh my gosh, I've missed it. And they have regrets. So what I did this year was I ordered a cheeky extra 10 copies, 10 extra packs of the Heart-Centr business planning system. So if you have been listening to this and you haven't purchased the Heart-Centr business planning system, or if you've purchased the system but only the digital system and you're having regrets and you wish you'd bought the print planning system, I'll have a post over on my Facebook page that I link to with the show notes of today's episode at tashcorbin.com/431. And for the first 10 people to comment on that post to request the print planning system, you'll be able to access purchasing it. I can send you all of the details. I'll also put the link to the purchase information with the show notes of today's episode, because you can still purchase the digital planning system, but it's just that the deadline for purchasing the print planning system has long passed, because I don't like purchasing a bunch of them and having them left over. So I only ever normally print them to demand. Like, we actually have people need to get their orders in by the November deadline, and then I go and get them printed exactly the number that we need, because I don't like the wastage. I'm a bit of a greenie, and so that's a big part of like reducing the waste of my business. So this year I've just got a cheeky 10. So it's only 10. Once they're sold, they're sold. There's no reprints available. I can't get them printed at the same price. I do the print planning system at cost. So it's a print upgrade normally. So if this is something that you would like to access, you get the 2025 planner. So it's a year-long planner, full color print. You also get the day planners, and there's 4 of those. There's 1 for each quarter, because what we do in the planning system is we actually break your year up into 3-month sprints. So we do 4 3-month sprints together. And in those 3-month chunks, we get so much done. We really focus on being more strategic, being more productive, being more effective in your business, and really narrowing down so that when you sit down to work in your business, you know exactly what to do and you're able to get it done. So this isn't just about having a really pretty plan and a really lovely plan and setting lots and lots of big goals that you never actually implement. This planning system is a year-long program to help you craft a plan that you can actually implement and implement it. It's really focused on stepping into CEO mode, being productive and effective, and being very strategic with how you choose to use your time in your business. So if that really resonates for you, it sounds like something that you want and need, then make sure you come and check out all the details at tashcorbin.com/431. Thank you so much for joining me. Day 1 of Tashmas is done. I will see you tomorrow back here on the podcast for day 2 of Tashmas. As I said at the start of the show, we have daily episodes for the next 12 days for our 12 days of Tashmas. So until next time, I cannot wait to see you shine. Bye for now.